Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy once again, Mr. Pound for Pound himself. It is definitely going down, and it definitely went down yesterday, last night, whatever time of day it was. I know it's 12 o'clock over there in New York. It was about 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock where we were. It definitely went down. Miguel Angel Cotto versus Antonio Margarito, the rematch. Very good fight. I'm just gonna go ahead and touch a few points on the fight, give you my little perspectives on how it went down and everything. If you caught the fight, good. If you didn't catch the fight, go back and watch it. It was a great fight and a historic rematch of these first two fights with two very good fighters. It was for the WBA Super World Light Middleweight title, and it was scheduled for 12 rounds. Unfortunately, we didn't see 12 rounds, but we did see 10 very good rounds. And I predicted it on the money. I said I had Cotto in 10, and it was TKO Cotto in 10. Um, as far as the fight itself, let me just go ahead and recap everything. The first fight, obviously, you know, the questions about the loaded gloves and the Margarito having the hand wraps. So there was all this speculation and drama about the loaded gloves, the loaded wraps. We didn't see any type of power from Margarito that we saw in the first fight. We didn't see that debilitating breaking down of Cotto this second fight. And then in the second fight, he did a good job. I mean, Margarito came to fight. He was landing punches. He was landing good shots. He just wasn't doing the same type of damage. I personally believe his gloves were loaded the first fight. Second fight, like I said, I mean, he was bruising up Cotto, but hey, 10-ounce gloves, you're going to get a little bruising. But Cotto didn't look the mess that he did at the end of the first fight in this fight. This fight was great. Cotto did a very good strategy. It was obvious. If you guys looked at the CompuBox at the end of the fight and you looked at punch stats and you saw where Cotto was going, Cotto threw almost 85, 90 punches to Margarito's right eye. And so the game plan was very, very obvious. And I said that midway through the fight. I said, it's obvious he's trying to stop him on the eye, which is very smart. I mean, a guy comes off a surgery, especially, has an eye orbital bone repaired, and then he has, a second surgery on the eye. Go after it. The guy wants to step into the ring. He wants to risk his health, so take it. And that's exactly what Cotto did. Cotto was just beautiful last night. I mean, he had a masterful game plan. He came in, he worked the jab, combinations in and out. His movement was great. I thought his footwork was really good and telling. I remember when watching the fight with a few people, they thought Cotto was in trouble at certain points in the fight. And I said, no, look at his legs. They're fresh. He's got this nice bounce in his legs. He looks very conditioned. Cotto looked very conditioned. He fought a very good fight in the sense that he knew he was going to box. He knew he was going to box and pick his spots to brawl. And that's what you do. That's the essence of boxing, is to hit, not really get hit, or at least try not to get hit. I mean, you're going to get hit in boxing, but at least try not to. And I felt that Cotto displayed that last night. In a masterful way. I mean, he systematically broke down Margarito, and Margarito, of course, he's a strong guy. He kept coming forward. But when you come forward and you're plodding along and you're throwing these really slow punches, you're just kind of open game for a fighter that's really doing a good job as far as counter punching and decent speed and has some power. Cotto has power. A lot of people, forget that just because Margarito says, oh, he doesn't hit hard, that doesn't mean he doesn't hit hard. Cotto can crack. Cotto has power. Just that Margarito has a damn good chin, and he can get hit with a lot of punches and walk through it. Margarito could walk through a firestorm almost and be good. As far as Margarito, he did an okay job. I mean, he did what he could do. He only has so many tools, and the poor guy, great fighter. I mean, he has a big heart. The heart the size of Mexico, and I commend him for that. I love him for that as a fighter, and it's beautiful. But he just doesn't have the tools to be a great fighter. He's a really good, solid fighter. He's a really good test for great fighters. I think Cotto's a great fighter. I think Margarito's a good fighter. To me, what Margarito should have did more was, he's a rangy guy. I mean, he's a very big, rangy guy. He should have been popping that jab. He should have been snapping Cotto's head back. I mean, hard, quick jabs. He should have worked some really hard, quick jabs. Um, I would have liked to see more 1-2s, 1-2 punching from Margarito. With those long rangy arms, he could have kept Cotto at bay with a nice long jab and then a right hand right after it. Jab, 1-2, jab, 1-2. I mean, but quicker, not these slow, obvious telegraph punches that Cotto was seeing and counter punching right over. Um, Also, what I would have liked to see from Margarito would have been a better job of cutting off the ring. He wasn't really cutting the ring off that well. He was just following Cotto and kind of letting Cotto do what he wanted to. Margarito kind of had that macho Mexican machismo attitude in the ring, as if I'm just going to walk through what you can give me. I'm going to wait till you get tired and then I'm going to beat you down. And that didn't happen. So that was a horrible strategy on Margarito's part, knowing that you have a bad eye, knowing that knowing that your right eye is not 100%. Your game plan needs to be on it. Your defense needs to be tight. You have to go in there thinking, not longevity. You don't want to stay in the ring that long with a guy like Cotto who can crack, who has good boxing and good strategy, because eventually he's going to get to you. So you want to get him out of there as quick as possible. Margarito's not that type of fighter. So, and he doesn't have that type of one punch erase knockout power. So yeah, it's all bad. You know what I mean? For Margarito, unfortunately, he's not faster. Unfortunately, he doesn't hit harder. Unfortunately, he's not a little less macho in a sense that he could strategize a little better instead of just thinking, oh, I'm going to run through Cotto and beat him up. He's a girl. He's a sissy, this, that, and the other. Well, that girl kind of beat you up last night and swole your eye up, and I don't even want to know what it looks like today. We all know fighters. We all know that a swollen eye the next day looks 2 times worse. So just a bad overall bad strategy for Margarito. I didn't like it at all. So as far as Cotto's bads and goods, I thought like I said, I told you everything that I thought was good. The bad part of Cotto that I didn't like, I must agree with my colleague Mr. M2. We were watching it together. No body work. He was headhunting a lot. I think he went to the body, could have broke down Margarito easier, but I see why he didn't go to the body. He had a strategy and he stuck to the strategy, and that was to go after the eye, and it worked. So hey, I can't complain. I would have liked him to see him go to the body. Probably would have stopped Margarito earlier, but then again, if he went to the body, he would have opened up that firefight also, because you have to bend your knees and toot your ass out and get low and to be able to go to the body. And I don't think Cotto wanted to really open up that type of a fight. But other than that, Cotto did great. Opens up a whole new landslide of good fights to come and things of this nature. I mean, the junior middleweight and the welterweights and the middleweight divisions, I mean, those divisions are stacked. That's personally where I want to fight once I get my pro career going. But it's stacked. I mean, we got what? We got Miguel Cotto. We got Chavez Jr. lingering around there. We got Saul Canelo Alvarez, which is one of my favorites. We got Vanes Martirosyan, Arislandi, Lara, James Kirkland, Alfredo Angulo. They just had that war, but they're still there. You got Bundridge over there, Dzernik that fought, Martinez. Then you got Sergio Martinez fluctuating up and down from 160 to 154. I mean, the divisions are stacked, you know what I mean? And then you got Mayweather and you got Pacquiao. They're willing to come up for certain fight opportunities and money. And then you got future, prospects. Amir Khan possibly going to come up to the 154 limit maybe sometime in the future. Stacked division. As far as Cotto goes right now at the junior middleweight, he's the man right now. I would say he's the man. And then somewhere, of course, Sergio Martinez is definitely going to be obviously, 1A, 1B with Cotto. As far as that, and then as far as young fighters and who I think very highly of, I think Canelo Alvarez is definitely up there as far as top 3 to top 5 junior middleweights in the world. So we'll see who Cotto draws his next fight. We'll see what kind of a draw he pulls in the next fight. I personally think he does good against all these top junior middleweight and middleweight fighters. Miguel Cotto's record is, I mean, you guys forget 36 wins, 2 losses, and the 2 losses came one to Manny Pacquiao. Okay, so what? Manny Pacquiao's Manny Pacquiao right now. You know, he's really, really good. There's no shame in losing to Manny Pacquiao. And then his second loss was to Margarito in the first fight, which is controversial because he could have had loaded gloves, which I believe he did have loaded gloves. So technically, Miguel Cotto should be 37-1 right now with 29 knockouts. So the guy has probably one of the best records in the junior middleweight division, although he's been through some wars and stuff. You know, he's getting older. He's not getting any younger. I mean, the guy's record is great. I'd love to have a record like that as a pro. So I do think Miguel Cotto is a very hard person to beat for any of these other junior middleweights. Even one of my favorites, Canelo Alvarez. Even for one of my favorites, Sergio Martinez. I don't think they blow him out of the water. Miguel Cotto is going to be a definite test for anyone. He showed boxing skills, and like I said, he has power. It's just that to Margarito has a good chin. So we'll see what's in the future for Miguel Cotto. But as far as last night, I thought it was a great fight. I thought Miguel Cotto showed his best qualities. I think he showed I can box as well as brawl, and I can also take a punch. I can strategize, and I can do a lot of things in that ring that many people either didn't think I can do or just never seen me do in the past. And he looked good, and he avenged his loss. I mean, if I was Cotto, I'd take a long vacation, enjoy it, sulk in my victory. I'd talk a little mess. Well, Cotto's not me, but I'll be talking a lot of mess to Margarito and be like, if you want to get it again, you can get it again in a third fight. Probably going to be worse because next time I'll go to the body. But that's just me, and I'm not Cotto, but I thought it was a beautiful fight, great fight. I do think maybe it depends on how Margarito does with his career. Maybe there might be a third fight. But if Margarito fights another fight and that doesn't get better, then maybe we won't see Margarito at the top of the game anymore. But and that's all right. You don't want to risk the guy's health, But everybody out there, go ahead and shoot me your responses. Tell me what you thought of the fight. Go ahead, email me back, and we could talk about it, chop it up. I like hearing from you guys. All right, everybody have a good day. Peace.